I'm going to help you guys out with the first two. Then after that, you guys are going to have to do the second two on your own. So 1 and 2 I'm doing with you. 3 and 4 is on your own. So what we see with number 1 is that we've got cosine x equals -1. I'm going to go look at my unit circle. And where does cosine equal -1? It equals -1 at pi. And because I don't have a parameter on my domain, basically it means for all values of x forever and ever, I'm going to add a 2 pi n. Number 2, I've got sine cubed x minus 4 sine x equals 0. This one I'm going to want to see if I can factor, which I can. I'm going to take a sine x out, and I'm going to have a sine squared x minus 4 equals 0. If you imagine the sign not to be there, that looks like an x squared minus 4, which is difference of squares. So I'm going to factor that out into sine x plus 2 sine x minus 2 equals 0. Set them all equal to 0. So sine x equals 0. Sine x plus 2 equals 0. Sine x minus 2 equals 0. All right, when sine of x is equal to 0, that means I am at pi. So x equals pi, and then I need to include 2 pi r, all my rotations around. Then as sine x equals -2, well, that's impossible. It's outside of the -1 to 1, which means that sine x equals 2 is also impossible and outside. Therefore, that is my only answer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I can clear. Well, let me clear out the pieces. Hold on. Okay, you guys are going to do 3 and 4 on your own. I'm just going to make some room so I can do them and show you guys the answers. 3 and 4, I'll write them a little tiny. So go ahead, do those on your own. Remember, factor and solve as if you were working with regular x values. The only time the sine, cosine all come in place is at that last step where you're searching your unit circle. All right, there's 3. Go ahead and pause, and I will do 4. And there's your second answer. This one had a little bit more to it in the fact that when you get sine x equals plus or minus root 2 over 2, you get answers at pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4, which is the same thing as saying instead of all of those plus 2 pi n, is that it's rotating every pi n. So pi over 4 plus pi n includes that 5 pi over 4. And the 3 pi over 4 includes the 7 pi over 4. So you can actually narrow it down, which is the same thing with when sine x equals 0, x equals pi n. It's because it's 0, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi, and so on and so forth are all covered. So you won't always be adding 2 pi n. Now, if you list out all those different ways and say 2 pi n, it is repetitive, but it is also okay.